I know I'm gonna get some hate for this one. Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, Paul here, and today we're gonna be doing a little bit of whining, a little bit of complaining. Because we've done lots of, top this of 2018, top that of 2018. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 biggest busts, letdowns, disappointments of 2018 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, well, I know a lot of people don't really like it when I make these sort of negative videos. They think it's like, oh, it's too much complaining, you should be more positive. But I do think it's important to think about things critically and, critique the game, be critical of it. So these are the things that I feel really kind of missed the mark. Konami dropped the ball on them for this reason or that reason. I'll explain them all, and at the end of the video, I want to know what you guys thought. What things let you down this year in Yu-Gi-Oh! You can leave it in the comments. All right, let's hop in. So first, we're going to start with sealed product, which I feel was very underwhelming this year. Wave of Light structure deck just kind of came and went. No one really paid much attention to it. But you've also got the Layer of Darkness structure deck, which in my opinion was just like, it was very hyped up, to give it, its fair credit. Like, a lot of people read these cards when they were first leaked, and they were like, whoa, this is really cool, this could be great. And I was kind of part of that hype train too. The field spell makes everything dark, and then you contribute your opponent's dark monsters as if they're your own. So, you contribute them for viruses, and you contribute them for enemy controller, or the effects of the new monsters in the deck, like Lilith and Darkest Diablos. And don't get me wrong, those 2 monsters were cool too. Lilith can search any trap. You can get, the virus cards, evenly matched to Rintroll or Mirror Force, so that's cool. And then Darkest Diablos can't be targeted, he can resummon himself from the grave, he can get rid of your opponent's hand, he's 3,000 attack. All these cool things. But the deck just failed to make an impact in the competitive metagame, like a lot of people thought that it would. The Layer of Darkness Infernoid strategy is probably the thing that came the closest. It got like a couple of tops here and there, but it never was really able to win any events, and that's a bit of a shame because I just think so many players had high expectations. But it doesn't stop there because you've also got the Codebreaker starter deck. There's also a structure deck of a similar name, which I hate how they name them, but that's not my complaint here. It's the fact that, okay, we were supposed to get Droll and Lockbird in this product, and we didn't. In the OCG, they had it, we got Effect Veiler instead, because we needed another common Effect Veiler reprint. And then also, these products I've noticed, they tend to reprint a lot of the same cards. I think Link's Lair got printed in this again. We got just copies of the same stuff. Those little level 1 monsters that summon themselves. You can watch anyone's opening of this product and it's almost boring how many of the cards Konami literally just seem to recycle. I feel that was very lazy of them, and I hope that next year we get better. And it's not to say that this year is all bad. I mean, the Zombie Horde structure deck is a pretty good product, and I do recommend picking it up. And also, if we're going to count Legendary Hero decks, it's also a good structure deck set of sorts. But I feel like overall this was a weak year when you look at years past where we got Dino Smasher's Fury last year, and then the year before that we got the Kaiba structure that had ABCs. So all in all, a little underwhelming, but not the worst of it. That comes later. So I think the next big bust of 2018 has been the Megatons. And the Megatons started out as such a hype product, so I think that's what makes it even more disappointing. They reprint all the hot cards from the 4 sets that came before it, and that's really cool. In past years though, I feel like they've been a lot better. This year really dropped the ball. Yes, it had good cards. It had Firewall Dragon, it had Saryuya, Borreload, Evenly Matched, all cool things. But then there were weird inclusions and exclusions. So first of all, they had more secret rares than usual, and I don't really know why. I think last year, and it's 2017 last year, it had 15 secret rares, and this time they had 24 secret rares, and then they filled it with more of its not great secret rares that you didn't want to pull from prior sets, and it just sort of padded out the set where you couldn't get a lot of the stuff you wanted, like the Borreload Dragon or the Evenly Matched. And in addition to that, the promos were not very good. In years past, we've gotten things like Pot of Desires as a promo, or Elder Entity Norden. This year, the promos were very underwhelming. I mean, the Yusei and Jaden theming was awesome, but the fact that it was really hard to get the products that you wanted just made it feel a bit lame. And it also came at a time where a lot of people were hoping that Needle Fiber would get imported in, and that didn't happen. And just between all of the fluff, and then not getting that, and then having bad promos, it's the Megatons have kind of been going downhill, but I really hope that Konami can bounce back next year and make them a lot better. Number 3, the lack of Link Vrains monster imports. So Link Vrains was a pack that came out in the OCG, and it was basically at the end of 2017, and it introduced all the cool Link monsters that supported archetypes, so they weren't just part of core sets, they're just kind of generic ones. That's where we first saw things like, of course, Electromite and Needle Fiber, which we haven't gotten yet. But I'm not even just talking about Needle Fiber. I'm actually just talking about things like the Hieratic Link monster, the Spellbook Link monster, Cherubini, that's the Burning Abyss Link monster. Instead of Konami giving us a set that just released most, if not all of these, like what they did with, say, Number Hunters before in the Zexal times, we get this slow sort of dripping faucet of like, we'll import 1 or 2 in main series sets. So that was cool when we got Electromite and Extreme Force, but then when we didn't get Cherubini and we didn't get Needle Fiber, people were really disappointed. But I think even more disappointing than that is knowing that a deck you play has a really cool Link monster that exists in the OCG, but just not knowing when we'll ever get it in the TCG. So when will we get Cherubini? When will we get, the Spellbook Link monster? When will we get the Hieratic Link monster? Like, we got a few of them, but there's still plenty that we're missing. Now the good news is that it seems like next year with Dual Power we're going to be getting most, if not all, of the remaining ones, so that's great news. But I think that, Konami really dropped the ball in terms of just making Link monsters more fun for people more quickly. People want support for their decks like soon after it's announced, not, years after, because then what ends up happening is sometimes the cards become irrelevant, like, they get power crept. And I think that Konami had a great opportunity to cram a lot more of these in as TCG exclusives and main series sets, but instead we got things like that one like Sonic Bird Trap card that Trell ended up eating in a video. Number 2, big bust of 2018, short print drama. So, this might just be like recency bias kicking in, but I feel like this year has been a really nasty one for short prints in Yu-Gi-Oh! It started kind of with the whole Ash Blossom controversy with Legendary Collection Kaiba, where you have this hugely popular card that everybody wants, and Konami announces, oh, it's going to be reprinted in a Legendary Collection, where things are usually like fairly easy to get, it's mostly a reprint set, and you'll get like 4 secrets and 6 ultras in every pack. Like, surely you should be able to get Ash Blossom. It's not even a secret rare, it's an ultra. So, that should be good. And then it turns out it's short printed. Like, it's mathematically proven to be short printed. I mean, there are people who've opened cases upon cases upon cases on YouTube and like recorded their findings, and it's just like Ash Blossom was short printed. You couldn't get this card, and it made the price of the entire set go up from like what was supposed to be a $30 thing you can buy wherever is now sold out everywhere, and online it's like 40, 45 bucks, and you buy like 3 or 4 or 5 of them, and maybe you get one Ash Blossom and maybe you don't. That's horrible. But I mean, it didn't stop there. Even in the main series sets, we found like short printings of Infinite Impermanence and Ghost Spell, and then like in Cybernetic Horizon, the Dangers, Borolo Dragon. Like, cards have been short printed, and it sucks because Konami doesn't acknowledge it. And then it starts this big divide in the community where people are like, oh, well, maybe, these vendors that are reporting what they pull in cases are lying, or maybe they're not lying and telling the truth, and no one knows, and Konami doesn't acknowledge any of it. And I just think that that's been a really big problem this year in particular, at a time when like the game, I feel, had kind of reached a point of being somewhat affordable, but then like it spikes up in price, mostly due to short prints. Hopefully we don't see that moving forward in 2019, but it's Konami, so don't hold your breath. And the number one thing that kind of ruined Yu-Gi-Oh! Just that came out of, I want to say nowhere, but really we all saw it coming, Firewall Dragon and his nasty FTK friends. So the Danger Dark World FTK is of course the big culprit here, but there have been we've known that Firewall Dragon is a problematic card. And kind of from the start, it's had loops, it's had FTKs, and it's made extra link boards very easy to do. And then Konami, not only did they take a long time to address the FTK, but it's like they hit cards around Firewall Dragon. And I think that made a lot of people angry. I mean, I get it, certain stuff was probably gonna have to go eventually, right? Like Dandelion unfortunately had to take the fall, and that's understandable, like Gofu and that type of stuff. But, like Assault Core from ABC players, like ABC is one of the most balanced decks in the game. I think it's one of the things that I always recommend for new players because ABCs are easy to pick up. It's not that expensive, it's easy to play, it's actually pretty effective. Then Konami just slashes the deck in half, where it's like, oh, you just lose this one card, like it goes to 1, now your whole engine's completely crippled. But it was really because of a Firewall loop. And then, yes, like Firewall has eventually gotten banned. Thank God for that. But the fact that we had to also play through, a few weeks, several weeks really, of like rampant like FTKs with Firewall Dragon and the dangers, like one card FTKs with Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher. Literally, we made a skit about it. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Police. Watch it. It's like a funny skit, but it makes a true point. This sucks. Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually reached kind of a tipping point. People started quitting. It made this game unfun. I didn't go to some regionals because I was like, I don't want to go and just play through FTKs. It sucks. Yes, I know they've gotten rid of it, but the fact that it was even able to exist and as long as it did really kind of ruined 2018 for me and a lot of other Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. All right, so that's it. Those are the top 5, or maybe like bottom 5, worst things, biggest busts in Yu-Gi-Oh! Of 2018. Obviously, I don't love doing complainty videos. I'm gonna try not to do that much more of this, whatever. I'll try to end this year off with at least one positive thing before it's all said and done. But let me know, what were the biggest busts in Yu-Gi-Oh! For you? I wanna know down in the comments. I wanna hear about it because, like I said, it's not always perfect. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I will see you guys in the next one. Pass turn.